Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. We'll be right back to the show. But before we do, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, factormeals.com, where if you go to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50, you can get 50% off your first order. That's factormeals.com/unbroken50. If you're like me and you are a person who is busy trying to create a life, heal, work on their health, wealth, and relationships, and not to mention deal with the day-to-days of normal life, you do not have time to be going to the grocery store and trying to figure out what you're going to cook every single day of the week. In fact, one time I did the math and I realized I was spending over 15 hours a week at the grocery store and cooking. When I added Factor, I got to use that time for myself, for my family, for my friends, for my community, and for my business. And so if you're in the place where you need some more support in the kitchen, head to factormeals.com/unbroken50 and use the code unbroken50 to get 50% off.
Do you ever feel like life is a never-ending series of lessons while you try to find purpose, meaning, and answers? I am Vanessa Fontana, the host of Figuring Shit Out, a podcast where we undertake self-help, coming of age, and healing. As I live my 20s in New York City figuring shit out myself, I've realized that if you spend your whole life trying to get your act together, you don't have a life. You have an act. On Figuring Shit Out, every Sunday, you get to normalize the journey of not knowing and be guided into living your life with more intention and ease.
Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show. But I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of life coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program. Hey, what's up, Unbroken Nation? Welcome to the Think Unbroken podcast. I'm your host, Michael Unbroken, and this podcast is about helping trauma survivors let go of the past, overcome their fear, discover their identity, become the hero of their own story, and ultimately to be unbroken. Our goal in company is to bring on guests and experts in the fields of mental, physical, and psychological health to help you overcome the past, to take back your power. And in this podcast, we are unedited and unfiltered, and we're going to give it to you real so that you can start to create massive change in your life. If you're curious about learning more outside the podcast, you can get a free copy of my book, Think Unbroken, at book.thinkunbroken.com. That's book.thinkunbroken.com, where you can get a copy of my #1 best-selling book, Think Unbroken: Understanding and Overcoming Childhood Trauma. The most important thing that you can ever do, my friends, is show up for yourself, and that's where you are today. And I appreciate you. I have massive gratitude for you. And without further ado, let's get into the show. What's up, Unbroken Nation? Hope that you're doing well today. I'm going to jump into the show here and give you guys a quick review. And of course, say thank you so much to everyone who takes the time to leave the reviews. It literally means the world to me. And I read them. And I know other people can find enlightenment out of them and can find hope out of some of them. And for some people, like, honestly, if you're like me and you go on Amazon and you're like buying some shit, like if I don't read the review first, like I'm not going to buy stuff. So thank you to everyone who leaves a review. You're not buying anything listening to this podcast, but you're listening, and I appreciate that. This review is from Maddie KS. Listen and subscribe. Michael has a way to uplift, inspire, and motivate you into believing in yourself and your potential for growth. He's so authentic, relatable, and genuine, and actually gives you attainable next steps to achieve your goals and change your life. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for leaving that beautiful review, Maddie. It means the world to me. I think that one of the most important things about everything about Think Unbroken is understanding this truth. And I'm going to say something, and I don't want you to take it the wrong way, but I want you to understand what I'm about to say. The reason why I do this, the reason why I make Think Unbroken, the reason why I put all this effort and energy into this show and into the books and into the coaching programs and all the things is for one reason, because I know that this shit works. Like, and what's so crazy to me is because I'm so self-aware, because I understand who I am in such a real way, like I understand that in the same way that a review that is positive, like the one I just read and all the other ones that I read and all the reviews and the comments and the tweets and the DMs that are empowering, make me feel incredibly not only like seen and special and a part of something big that's a movement, but on the same token, every time I get hate mail, every time I get canceled, every time someone asks me who the fuck do I think I am because I'm talking about these things without a college education, I don't give a fuck. Like, that's the truth about it. Like, here's what I want to say about this, and this is really, really important. Like, I believe in myself so much. Like, and I'm going to win either way, whether you hate me or you love me. And I don't let that dictate whether or not I show up to serve. And I want you to keep this in mind as you go down your journey in life. It's so easy for us to bend who we are for other people, to satiate their needs or their desires, or to make them feel like they're winning, or to hang our hat on the hook of our self-esteem coming from someone else. Like, my self-esteem, here's what I want you to take from this. Like, really, and I know this feels odd probably to hear if you've never heard me say this before. I do not get my self-esteem from you. I do not get my self-esteem from anyone except from me through the things that I do every single day by showing up in my life. And that has given me such a tremendous amount of belief. And here's the thing too, like, you guys know this, or if this is your first time listening, this was not always the case. Go back to 27 years old. I had zero self-esteem, did not believe in myself, never showed up for myself, morbidly obese, smoking and drinking myself to death, the whole nine. And then one day, I decided, after recognizing I had zero self-esteem, that I was going to do whatever it took to get to where I am today. And look, and where I am today is not anywhere close to where I want to go. And so people always ask me, well, how do you start to believe in yourself? Well, for me, and I really mean this, as much as it will destroy me to see a tweet or a fucking negative comment or somebody sliding in my DMs and telling me to fuck off, like, as much as that destroys me, simultaneously, I also don't give a shit because I don't build myself on that. But it's the same way that even though I get this amazing sense of joy and love from you who leave these amazing reviews and the positive things, like, I also do not let that impact who I am as a person, because the reason that I do this is very simple. Ultimately, between the good, the bad, the middle, all of it, the reason that I show up and I do this every single day, day in and day out, is because I know that it works. I know that it works. And so because I know that it works, and I've decided that I tie my identity to the effort that I put in every single day, that is how I create who I am. And people always ask me, well, how do you do this? Like, how do you really become you? Guys, you have to understand this. You cannot leverage who you are on the opinions of other people, whether they're your biggest fans or your worst enemies. You just cannot do that, because that means you are not in control, right? And taking back identity and creating your life after trauma, you have to be the one in control of your future, and in control of your present moment and in control of everything that happens in your life by recognizing that the only way fully that you come to this place of confidence is by in the day in and day out showing up for yourself. And so when I'm in this position of looking at my life through the scope of who am I today, self-awareness. I'm telling you right now, self-awareness is the most fucking important thing that you will do in your life. Like when you can get crystal clear and have clarity about who you are, you will never lose. I know you hear me talk about this all the time, but that's why when you leave me a good review or a bad review, or you tell me to go fuck myself, it doesn't bother me and it's not going to stop me. And just like this construction right now in real life, I'm not going to stop recording. So I don't know where the hell that's coming from. I hope that you can't hear it. And if you can, sorry. But the reality is, like, you got to keep going. You got to keep showing up for yourself. You got to keep doing you every single day and leveraging your experience of showing up for yourself as the catalyst, right? As the catalyst for how you think about yourself when you're by yourself. It is the effort. Like, yes, it hurts when people say that I suck. Of course it does, but I'm not going to let that stop me. And it's amazing when people say, oh my gosh, you did this and it impacted my life and I love what you talk about. But that's also not going to be the thing that I leverage to determine my value in the world. I hope you guys are seeing what I'm saying, especially not on social media, because look, I've got into some like online combat with people where I'm like, let's go live on Instagram and talk about this. Let's come on the podcast and have an in-depth discussion. And to this day, anyone who has ever combated me refuses to do it. And what I'm trying to get to in that is like, hey, I welcome it. And anyone who's listening to this, if you ever want to have a conversation with me, I do this to have conversations. I don't do this to like wave a fucking flag that I'm better than you or I know more than you, because that's not true. And I'm always trying to learn. But it's to say this: when people are fucking hating on you, it's because of their own inadequacies. It's because they're scared of the reflection of the mirror that they just had. It's because they want to pull you down because there's something that you're doing in your life that makes them uncomfortable. Right now, also, you could just be a dick. Like, I think about that too. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, I've had my fucking moments. I will have them again. I do my best to mitigate those, but that's the truth of reality. And I'm going to keep it real with you guys. Like, I'm going to fuck up. Right. And so in that self-awareness and looking at, oh my God, I really just fucked up. I made a huge mistake. I did the thing I said I wasn't going to do. And recognizing like the root of that and where that comes from, like that is the real win in this game, right? I think about that in business, career, relationships. Like when I fuck up, because I do, I promise you, like I always want to go back and figure out the causation and correlation, right? You've heard me talk about this before, because when I can identify and see where that comes from, I can make meaning of it, right? I can understand because of this experience in my life, and it doesn't even necessarily have to be traumatic, but because of the experience that I had, I can measure that and go, oh, okay, now I see why I behave this way. And so when you can get really intrinsic and introspective about who you are, that becomes the anchor for everything that you do moving forward. Because I'm telling you right now, if you leverage who you are based on the opinion of other people, oh my God, you can't live like that. Like, I wish I could explain that in a really concise way, but I think that's like, you can't live, like you are not alive when you're letting other people dictate your worth and value in the world. And that was the greatest discovery that I've had in my life when I was 27 years old. And why I tell you guys, like, the reality is the real truth and crux to healing is by doing the things you say you're going to do and not doing the things that you don't want to do, because ultimately that's how you create confidence in yourself. And so the greatest thing that you can do in this moment is show up for yourself today while measuring and understanding all of the circumstances that have brought you to where you are. We'll be right back, but I wanted to take a quick moment to tell you about the Think Unbroken 6-week trauma healing coaching program. If you go to coaching.thinkunbroken.com, that's coaching.thinkunbroken.com, you can sign up for the 6-week daily Think Unbroken Trauma Healing Coaching Program. In this program, we're going to go over the 6 principles of healing trauma, adaptation, understanding the impacts of trauma, how to become the hero of your own story, what to do next, and ultimately what it means to be unbroken. For more information about this 6-week coaching program, which you can download as an app on your phone and take with you everywhere, no matter where you are in the world, it's interactive. It's built about giving you practical tools that you can use in real time. And if you're ready for what's next in your life, go to coaching.thinkunbroken.com. Again, that's coaching.thinkunbroken.com. Now let's get back to the show. The best thing you'll ever do, like there's a fucking whiteboard next to me. Like it's not probably where it's going to live because I don't like it here and I just unpacked it. But there's always been a whiteboard in my life covered in goals, covered in things that I want, that I need, that I desire, but also understandings, keywords, little things that I try to identify with that I can make meaning of throughout the course of my day. The greatest thing that you will do in this journey is grab a piece of paper and a pen or a whiteboard and just put your thoughts there that help you understand who you are today. Because that's what it's about. It's about a massive, massive amount of self-awareness. And you got to be committed once you have that self-awareness to doing what it takes to have the life that you want to have. And so step one, I think here today, when you're listening to this and you're thinking about what's next in your life, is to ask yourself this question. Are other people impacting you in ways that is keeping you stuck? Because if they are, it's really time to address what's going on internally, because that is a you problem. That is not from them, right? It's kind of what my mentor Grant Cardone always tells me, like, other people who hate you have nothing to do with you, right? Same as other people who love you. Like, you could love me or hate me. That has nothing to do with me. Like, yes, of course, I want to be of service. And yes, of course, I want to be an impactful leader and speaker and coach and help people have better life than they ever have had before, because I believe that's fucking possible. Like, I truly do. But that's about my mission and my goals. And I give this to you not so I can stand on some fucking pulpit and feel good about it. I'm not trying to be passive in life. I saw the opportunity in my life to be of service, to make my life better by helping other people. And that's why I do it, right? I don't do it so that one day a flag waves and says, Michael's the greatest person of all time. I do it very simply for one reason: so that another child doesn't have to have a story like ours. And I believe that through healing and these ideas and these concepts, and yes, even though some of them may rub you the wrong way, like this is me speaking my truth and my reality and understanding what has worked for me. And I know that I won't always be the one that works for you. And that's okay. That's okay, because you'll find the right person. But the most important thing you'll do, whether you hate me or love me or in between, like, it A, does not impact me, and B, more importantly, when you get super self-aware and you understand what drives you and what brings value to your life, like, you will find that self-esteem will be built exponentially, because the moment you can understand how to answer the question, who am I? Everything about your life will change. Like, it really, really will. And one of the things here, I'm gonna pull up the iPad here from a journal note that I made this morning. I try to be very diligent about asking myself questions every day. And so here are 5 questions that I wrote down that I ask myself every single day that I want to share with you. And what I want you to do is grab a piece of paper and a pen and write down these 5 questions. Because if you start asking yourself questions, and look, you can change them, you can customize them, make them yours, that's fine. But when you start to ask yourself these type of questions, because the quality of your questions determines the quality of your life, when you start asking yourself this quality of question, your life will be different. Because it's really simple. We can blame the world and go, why is this happening to me? Right? There's no self-awareness in that question. I want to be very clear with you. There's no self-awareness in that question. That question is you're blaming the world. That was my favorite question from age 4 till 27. Why is this happening to me? And then I recognize, like, wait a second. What happens if I shift the way I think about the world? And so I'm going to actually share with you something private here, the 5 questions that change my life every single day. And you can take these, you can use these for yourself, or what I would recommend, because you are not me and you're trying to, like, to be crass for a moment, you are not me. So what do I have to do with you? Right? You see what I'm saying? So what you want to do is go into this and decide, can I wrap my head around these questions in a way that I can then change them in a way that impacts my life for the better? Or you may actually find these are amazing questions and these are what you need. You're going to notice these questions are very concise. They are not open-ended, right? I mean, they are, but they aren't. I don't know. I'm going to read them to you. I'll let you decipher this. Every single day, these are the questions I ask myself. 1, how do I need to show up for myself to be an effective leader, a man of character, a voice for the voiceless, and an agent of change. So I'm always asking myself, how do I need to show up today? What do I need to do to be that? For me first, you notice, I'll read it again. How do I need to show up for myself today? Me first. Yes, of course, I want to be a leader and I want to be a voice and I want to be an agent of change. But if I don't do those things for me, how am I going to do them for someone else? Right? 2, what do I need to feel today to be present in each moment, focused on my goals, and fulfilled in my choices? What do I need to feel? Because emotion comes from emotion. And so if I feel downtrodden, if I feel bummed out, I'm not going to have the energy to be present. I'm not going to show up. I'm not going to focus on my goals. I'm not going to be fulfilled in my choices. And that's not to say I don't have hard days. But now it's about, can I have hard hours? And I'm really trying to get to the point in my life where I have hard minutes, right? Can I just let those emotions that we get entangled with go and continue to move forward? Number 3, what are the decisions I must make in order to continue to move towards being who I am capable of being? Decisions. You guys hear me talk about this all the time. Make a decision about your life. That is so important. It's the number one most important thing in this journey. You've got to make fucking decisions. If you're on the fence about shit, your life is not going to be different. Decide, right? And so every day I ask myself that question because I know I'm going to have to make decisions. Number 4, what do I need to learn today to better serve myself, my community, my friends, family, partners, relationships, and the world? What do I need to learn today? I'm always asking myself that question because I told you before, education is everything. And so I know that I know nothing. And so as a learner, I have to go and learn every day. Is that an audiobook? Is that a program? Is that a conference? Is that a podcast? Is that a YouTube video? Every single day for an hour. I know this sounds crazy, but for an hour every day, I am doing personal development work. That's on top of all the other things. And some days it's longer, right? Today it's a day where I have coaching and I already did personal development work and I'm going to a conference tonight. So it's kind of like probably going to be 5 hours of personal development. Is that overkill? Yeah, maybe, but I'm also always trying to learn. And number 5, who do I need to become to have fulfillment, success, and happiness? I'm going to tell you right now, and you guys have heard me say this before, I'm 30 years away from everything that I'm trying to create in my life. 30 years away. So who do I need to become so that in 30 years, at 66 years old, I look back on my life and I go, I did all these things to get to this place? Who do I need to become? A better leader, a more effective communicator. I need to take better care of my body, of my mental health, of my relationships, of my businesses. I need to show up more authentically. I need to continue to say no to the things I need to say no to. I need to continue to invest in the community. I need to read more books. I need to write more books. I need to go to more conferences. I need to get deeper and deeper and deeper into understanding and shaping who I am. Do you see why I ask questions the way I do? Like those 5 questions, they're very pointed. They're very much about creating an outcome on the other side of it. And every day is different. And that's what I love about these questions, because I'm asking them about today. Who, what, where, why, how, all those things are about today. And so if you take those 5 questions, you can implement those into your life. You are more than welcome to, or you can just craft 5. What are the 5 most important questions that you need to ask yourself? Not questions that are get out of jail free cards like, what do I need to do at the gym today? That's bullshit. That's not going to change your life. You got to get really specific and create parameters around the question that you're asking. You need to go deeper with yourself than you ever have before, because here's the reality. Those 5 questions are going to help you build self-awareness, and your self-awareness is going to become the key to all of the success that is next in your life. My friends, thank you so much for being with me today. It means the world to me. Unbroken Nation, you guys are absolutely amazing. Please do me a favor, like, share, subscribe, tell a friend, and until next time, my friends, be unbroken. I'll see ya. Unbroken Nation, hope that you just got a tremendous amount of value from today's episode. I want to know what you think. Please do me a favor and review rate, and share the episode with 3 friends on social media today. It would mean the world if you did, because ultimately at the end of the day, creating community and connection is how we heal generational trauma in the world. And I need your help to do that, Unbroken Nation. So if you're on iTunes or Spotify or wherever you are, please like, comment, share, review. I want to know not only what you like about the show, but how I can make the show better, how I can make this further about helping you on your healing journey. So do me a favor, and when you do, shoot me a screenshot of you making the review to my DM at Michael Unbroken on Instagram so that I can have a conversation with you, say hi, and more importantly, so I can share it with the Unbroken Nation. Thank you so much, my friend. Hey, my friends, we will be right back to the show, but I have a question for you. Are you struggling with the impact of childhood trauma? Well, know that you're not alone. I'm here to let you know that I'm starting a brand new weekly coaching group that includes a year of live coaching, accountability, support, habit and goal setting, and more. I'm starting a waitlist for the group right now, and I'm only taking a handful of people. And I'll let you know that through this personalized coaching, we'll work together to help you understand how your childhood trauma has shaped your beliefs, behaviors, emotions, and will help you create a roadmap for healing and growth. Right now, you can schedule an absolutely free coaching session with me and get put on the wait list if you go to thinkunbroken.com. My friends, it's your time to turn your trauma into triumph, breakdowns into breakthroughs, and become the hero of your own story. And I'm here to support you in doing that. Just go to thinkunbroken.com to register for a free coaching call with me and to get put on the wait list for the brand new weekly coaching program.